Well, alright, motherfuckers. I've been seeing a lot of this stuff going on about vegans as of late. Wrestling Jesus has, been in a war with some fucking goofball girl, who takes offense to a differing opinion. So I'm gonna have to weigh my 2 cents in here, and this is not just wrestling Jesus's problem, but I've been seeing this on related videos, um, going through these videos and seeing a bunch of fucking Mama Lukes, bunch of Mama Luke motherfuckers getting all bent out of shape about veganism and shit like that. And here's my opinion on it: veganism is fucking retarded. Now, my curiosity about veganism occurred in like 2013, late 2012 or something like that, when I wanted to explore veganism and a couple of things, because I'm somebody, I have like a weak stomach a lot of times, and I do eat like a lot of meat and stuff like that, and I wanted to see if this was a better style of living and everything. And I'll tell you something, it's a fucking bitch. If you're like working out and stuff, being a vegan is a pain in the fucking ass. It really is. It limits the amount of things that you could eat. And it was kind of like this in a way. There used to be this joke that they did, like when Daniel Bryan was in WWE and he was a heel, and like they would say, "You're a vegan, you don't eat meat, then what do you eat?" And it kind of is like that. It's like, trying to think, it's like every single day you eat meat. Meat is like the most filling thing. If you don't have meat with a meal, then you're gonna be pretty fucking hungry later on. I mean, you can eat fruits, vegetables, and then you get into the debate. It's like something's really vegan or not. If it may or may not contain certain animal products, and there's a lot of products that are made on the same in the same factory as like milk and eggs and stuff, which are not vegan. So it's like being a vegan is just a pain in the ass, and vegan, and of course, in turn, that means that vegans are going to be a pain in the ass. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter of it. I mean, if you're just a vegan, you're going to be a pain in the ass pretty much, because you can't fucking eat anything. It's just, I learned that. I was like, you can eat bread, and then you can eat bread, and then you can eat bread. And if you don't like soy, or you're not crazy about the taste of soy, then, well, you're going to pretty much fucking hate life. And that's what I learned. I mean, well, you could have rice, and you could have beans, and you could have beans, and you could have rice. And that's about it. You can't have meat. You can't have eggs. You can't have anything that may or may not have been produced in the same factory or um, you know environment as that of an animal or something. And you ever hear of the food chain? Why do animals eat each other? What is this fucking thing about not believing in eating other animals and all this other type of shit? I think that's pretty fucking dumb. Now, if you approach a lion or a tiger or a bear, they're gonna eat your fucking ass. Why? Because they're animals. And hey, guess what? We're actually considered to be a form of an animal as well. We're mammals. So we're also technically animals of sorts. We're human beings, but we're all some sort of animal, one way or another. So there you go. So we're mammals, but we're also living things. We're animals as well. So there you go with that. There's a little bit of logic for you. So in turn, you could say that well, they're animals, but we're animals too. We're mammals. We're the same thing as fucking bears and shit. Warm blooded creatures with hair. So it's like, you want to use the logic that we're trying to protect wildlife. The fact of the matter is, wildlife is not concerned with protecting us. Now, I'm not going to come on this video and sound ignorant, even though a bunch of vegans will probably use that term to identify me anyway. But the fact still remains that, being a vegan doesn't make you superior to anybody or anything. So, does that mean that you're superior to a bear because you don't eat meat? When in fact, it's animals like that you're trying to protect. So, that's where the logic really fools me. And anyway, what I was about to say before is this is another idea that you might want to think about there for a minute. I don't believe in slaughtering animals in a cruel fashion. I think it should be done in the best way possible. But really, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. You're still killing them. Now, if it's like KFC and you have people boiling them alive and throwing them against walls and shit like that and packing them into tiny cages, that could probably be avoided. That could definitely be done in a classier manner. But, here's the thing I've always noticed about vegans. You're doing it to feel better about yourself, which is an ego thing. So, here's the thing about being a vegan I've noticed. When someone's a vegan, they're going to open up a YouTube channel. If you're a vegan bodybuilder, you're going to open up a YouTube channel. And you're going to talk about all the importance of being a vegan and why being a vegan is better than being a non-vegan. And this is all feeding into your ego. So, I have to ask you a question. Are you doing this to be a humane citizen of civilization? Or are you doing it simply just to impress everybody else? Because you're sure as hell not impressing me. I am not impressed by that at all. I think actually it's quite foolish. And, it's gone without saying that there are important vitamins and minerals that cannot be obtained by not having meat. You have to have meat. It's been pretty much proven that a diet should contain some form of meat. Now, maybe not red meat, but you should have at least chicken or some type of poultry or some form of meat, whether it be fish or something like that. You need to eat something that has been a living animal, pretty much. You have to. You could obtain protein from beans and shit like that, but you need a stable protein source, and you need amino acids, and you need iron. And you can take vitamins and stuff like that, and you could take this, and you could take this, sucking on that vegan cock. Anyway, you could take supplements and stuff. But did you know that there really hasn't been concrete evidence to support that any supplements really do shit? Now, you could, if you've seen improvement since you've been taking it, it could be something called the placebo effect. If you believe that something is working, did you know that mentally, that sometimes that could help you out physically? Like, for example, if you think that you're as sick as a dog and everything, and you're like, oh, you're gonna get sicker. You could actually worry yourself sick. Also, you can make yourself sick. It is possible. The mind and body are linked, and that is very interesting. So, any supplements that you're taking, you could just be having it could be just having that mental effect onto you, and it might be helping you out, but really, it might in essence not really do anything. It just might be the concept of positive thought that might be helping those vitamins and minerals from helping you out, those supplements. And the other thing that I want to discuss is that, a lot of times, even if these supplements are helping, they are not good substitutes for the real thing. Iron supplements are great. It can add to the, your iron count, but you need to have a source, like a real solid source of it. So, for example, you could take vitamins if you don't eat enough vegetables, but it's not good enough to hold the place of real vegetables. So, you really just have to have just the same thing like juice. The vitamins contained within juice are not as potent as the vitamins that could be found in the whole fruit. So, the vitamin C in orange juice is not as potent as the vitamin C in an actual orange. And this is also something that's also been proven scientifically. And, always in science, there's different studies and everything, but some of this stuff is pretty concrete at this point. So, there really isn't no benefit to being a vegan other than just feeding your ego. Really, it has more health concerns than anything. I mean, you're really just putting yourself more at risk for certain diseases and shit like that. Um, the verdict is still out on things like soy. They're not sure if it could really prevent heart disease, but then again, it can, so it really couldn't hurt to have it. But really, there is no real point to being a vegan, as I said, other than feeding your ego. You know, you want to go ahead and just do it to be a good person, and that's about it. There really is no other benefit to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what could really be said? Being a vegan is just pretty pointless, and yeah, I don't really see any reasoning behind it. So, get off your high horse and all that shit, and just have some fucking meat. Just get it out of your mind already. The less you think about it, the better you'll be.